In the Streets is a book that is 425 pages by Tron Hill. It is available with Kindle Unlimited. This book was published by the publishing company Urban Ain't Dead. This is a very gritty urban fiction book. If you like a book that has some roughness to it, it has some street aspects to it, this will be a good book for you. The main character, Ace, starts off the beginning of the book with his mother. His mother's very she's one of those specific types of moms, okay? She brings certain stuff around you that probably is not age appropriate. She brings you in on certain things of hustling and stuff. But then when you start to ask too many questions, she wants to remind you to stay in a child's place. And I found it extremely interesting because it's like, you can expose me to all of these aspects of shit that is illegal. But the minute I say like, hey, mom, I need something to protect myself. Like, I need this and that. At what age as a parent would you feel like you failed when your child comes to you and they're like, mom, I need a gun? And you're like, why? Like, if your child came to you at 18, would you be like, oh, okay, like they're grown, I understand. If the child came to you at 12 and you know that y'all are living in a bad area, you know that it's bad, you know that it's over the top, you know that you can only be in so many places at once, at what age of your child being do you feel like, damn, I probably effed up? I probably effed up. I probably... We should probably pack everything and leave. Because if you're asking me for that at this young of an age, nothing good is going to follow. Ace goes into this corner store. And mind you, this is a young man. He's all of, I want to say, 12, 14 at this point. He goes into the corner store and he's paying for something. Another young individual comes into the corner store at the same time. The Arab man gives him the money back to Ace. And this boy is watching this encounter. His name is Whiteboy, right? Because he is black, but at the same time, he's favoring, he's high yellow. Like that super high yellow, like what do you call it? Like not like the Drake high yellow, but like the white passing high yellow, okay? Whiteboy tells Ace, like, you know Brody just like basically robbed you, right? You know he owes you money. You gave him a 10. This nigga done gave you back $2, $3. You ain't put that much on the counter, bro. Where's the rest of your money? And it gets to the point where Ace is like, dang, you're probably right. But at the same time, I really don't know how to count my money for real. And I've never been good with numbers. Whiteboy takes it upon himself to put on his super cape, okay? He not only defends Ace, but he's like, bro, you're going to come from behind the counter and give him his money. And if you don't, I'm going to handle it. The way this situation unfolds draws these two into each other so much. They are like two pieces of a puzzle that they did not know needed each other to begin with. Because after he's already now asked his mother for a gun, Ace's mama lets him know, apparently you think you're a grown man, so hit the streets. You might as well get out. You might as well go ahead and live on your own. And I hate seeing parents do that. I absolutely hate seeing parents do that. And I feel like this author did a very good job of illustrating how the thought process behind it, yes, you don't want to make your kids think it's okay to be involved in stuff. And yes, you don't want them to think that you need to be some street, hood, whatever. At the same time, most times your children are a product of either your behaviors that you raise them around, they're a product of the environment that you chose to raise your children in, or they're a product of that crazy person that you let bust up in you, and you knew that nigga probably should have been on some psych meds before you got pregnant, or maybe you found out during the 4th month of pregnancy that Brody probably got some psychological issues, and when those same issues show up in your child, you have to proactively do something to make sure you give them the tools to manage it. Ace's mother, I feel like, did nothing. Like, she did nothing. She literally just put him out into the streets. And I think people don't realize the amount of resentment that tough love brings about. Maybe 30, 40, 50 years ago, you can do that. You can't do that with today's generation of kids because there's too many people that are readily available to indoctrinate your child with any type of nonsense that they want to. You don't know who you're sending your kids out to. When you were doing that maybe in the 80s or even in the 90s, there was still a sense of community that was going to take your kid underneath their wing and maybe show them right. There were still deacons that were still doing like the Boys and Girls Clubs and what do you call like the 100 Black Men Associations and stuff, where there were men to come and take these young boys underneath their wing. A lot of those programs have been dismantled today. You can't send your black son out and just expect that, well, he'll humble himself and come back home. No, he's not. If you don't have a plan for your child, I promise you there's 15 niggas down the street that got a plan for them. If you don't have a plan for your daughter and you don't already have her set up in a certain way of, you know what, I'm going to proactively teach you about finances. I'm going to proactively build you up to learn about having self-confidence, to not smile up in the first nigga's face who tells you that you're pretty, to not feel like you have to show your titties and your butt and everything just to get attention. If you do not prepare your children ahead, I promise you, there is somebody down the street that's ready to. And it's not always an adult. Like in this book, sometimes it is a child who ends up being the worst influence on your kids. There is a reason why you have some parents that be like, yeah, no, I don't care, that's your cousin. We don't do sleepovers down the street. We don't do sleepovers because it's not always that creepy uncle you have to watch out for that has something planned for your child. Sometimes it's the kid that plays video games that you don't allow in your household that can influence your child in the worst way. It just started a whole butterfly effect of events from the moment Ace's mama told him to get out. He meets person after person after person who's like, oh, you want to belong? All right. I got a task for you to prove your loyalty. I got a task for you to sit here and show me that you want to be a part of us. Show me how much you're willing to do. I love the way that this book was illustrated. I will say that this book was longer than what I'm used to reading. 425 pages is, listen, y'all know I'm a Kindle Unlimited hoochie. I love me a good book on Kindle Unlimited. But I'm used to the books that are like under like 250, 120. Y'all know my favorite is like the 40, 60 pagers. Novellas are my like, ooh, that's my bread and butter. But this book was executed very well. It was my first time reading a book by this author, so I did not know what to expect. But I've read other books that were released with this company, so I was excited about it. This author also has published a 3-part series, I believe, of books that is titled In the Streetz. I thought the book covers on that was all 3 of those books were very cute as well. The first one was green, the second one had like gold writing, and the third one had a blue cover with white writing. Let me know what other titles by this author I should be checking out. You guys can still hire me to promote your books on my website at allsbrooks.com. I do book reviews. I can help you get your books on billboards in a city near you. They're digital billboards that you can see when you're riding along the highway. For people to be like, oh my God, look at so-and-so's book on the highway. Let me go ahead and copy and read that. I also still have my book, My Favorite Ex is free on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles for a limited time. And I feel like I haven't said it enough. Y'all know y'all can be sending like y'all t-shirts and stuff to my P.O. box for me to wear during these videos for free. I'm not charging for that yet. Not yet, but one day it's coming. So I do want to get to this place in 2025 where I am wearing more small businesses, brands and things, just to get more eyes on it, just to get more brand recognition to those companies. And like I said, at this point, I am not charging. All you have to do is inbox me or shoot me an email to FrenchAllsbrooks@allsbrooks.com and say, French, what is your P.O. box so I can send you a t-shirt? Or listen, I'm even into my scarves now. Let me find out there's a scarf company. Let me find out there's a candle company where I can sit here and I can light your candles and talk about the whole vibe it created while I was over here trying to manifest me writing more words in my own books in a day. I got y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video.